evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. Today is Tuesday, January the 26th, 2021. I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, retiring Tullahoma Fire Marshal Richard Steiner received a grand send-off, and a local assistant principal is in the running for a National Teaching Award. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Now open in Tullahoma, Parkview Senior Living, a luxurious retirement community designed for active seniors. Choose an apartment home that's truly inspired and have peace of mind knowing our caring and friendly staff is dedicated to your safety and well-being. We offer an abundance of amenities and services, and you're not required to buy in or be locked into anything. Call us today to learn more about our new Tullahoma location.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Welcome back. Tullahoma Fire Marshal Richard Steiner retired after almost 26 years this past Friday and received a grand send-off. I was there to video it and bring you a portion of the program where Tullahoma Mayor Ray Noaes spoke about Richard, and also a presentation by Tullahoma Fire Chief Richard Chastain.
This is one of the most enjoyable things that I have to do as mayor. It is really the most important thing I do as mayor. But the recognition to you, let me read a recognition that goes like this. This is from the city, even said in recognition of, this is presented to Richard Steiner on behalf of his 1,655 citizens that call Tullahoma home, and by the virtue and authority vested in me as mayor of Tullahoma, in celebration of 25 years of dedicated service to the city of Tullahoma and its citizens as firefighter and deputy fire marshal, I now therefore proclaim today, Friday, January the 27th, 2021, as Richard Steiner Day. In Tullahoma, and urge all and beseech all citizens to recognize the same. Congratulations on your retirement and best wishes, Richard Steiner.
Most of the time he can answer the code questions right off the top of his head, and then within an hour he sent you the email with the code printed out with it highlighted of what the answer was. I mean, he's nothing short of amazing as far as codes enforcement, and we've had several instances with big projects, and I named Publix for one, that he was the inspector that went out to give them the final certificate of occupancy, and he doesn't just walk through and look at the high points. This man has a ladder, he carries it, he checks up and over and behind everything, and his goal is, first off, to keep the firefighters safe if there's an emergency. And he also is there to keep the citizens safe if they're in a business. And he's also there to keep the people that own the business from losing their investment. And he's also there to keep the people from getting sued, namely me, the mayor, the city administrator, and you. So at Publix, for example, he climbs up on top of a freezer, a walk-in, and looks over the back side of it, and there's some exposed insulation that is a fire code violation. And the man tells him, the contractor, and the general contractor says, we've built these all over the United States, and nobody's ever caught that. And he said, well, it's in the code, and he showed him the code, and he said, oh no, you're right, we'll fix it. But nobody's ever caught that. That's what we're losing. Hopefully, he's worked with Nick, and Nick has shadowed him for about 3 months, and hopefully Nick can step right in and do that job at that level. But it's going to be tough. Richard brings a lot of experience and knowledge and heart. So I've got another presentation for him here. The fire department has started a tradition of these flags that we have made. Officer Willie Young with the police department make these for me, and we present this to you. It's got your name on it, and some of the labels of the fire department, and it's an American flag, and it was custom made just for you, and we appreciate your service. Enjoy that.
And we'll be right back with more of Fire Marshal Steiner's retirement party after these messages.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
My great-grandfather started it in 1900, and now it's 2020, which is 120 years. We still measure your feet, still try to help you find a good fit. We're just a good old-fashioned shoe store where we'll measure your feet, make sure you're in the right size, and help you find a comfortable shoe for men, women, and children.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Welcome back. We continue with more coverage of Fire Marshal Steiner's retirement event with Chief Shastine and Costa Bryce presenting Fire Marshal Steiner with an award he wasn't given sooner because of COVID, and a segment where Tullahoma Fire Chief Richard Shastine speaks with Steiner about his legacy.
Normally, every year, HR puts on a great service awards banquet. However, as you know, 2020 was very strange for many reasons. And ironically, it was your 25th anniversary, and we didn't have an awards banquet. But they do have a great gift for you from the city of Tullahoma, celebrating your 25 years of service. So I would like to ask that Ms. Bryce come up, and you and her and myself have a photo with your 25-year service award. It says Richard Steiner, 25 years service award, June of 1995 to June of 2020. And it's a real nice clock that actually it was on Eastern time, because you would have been given this after the time change, so I had to run it back an hour, but it's actually keeping time. So, Ms. Bryce, would you mind coming up and getting a photo, since we didn't get to have our great banquet this year, last year?
You want to say 25 years, please shut up.
Most of the time he can answer the code questions right off the top of his head, and then within an hour he sent you the email with the code printed out with it highlighted of what the answer was. I mean, he's nothing short of amazing as far as codes enforcement, and we've had several instances with big projects, and I named Publix for one, that he was the inspector that went out to give them the final certificate of occupancy, and he doesn't just walk through and look at the high points. This man has a ladder, he carries it, he checks up and over and behind everything, and his goal is, first off, to keep the firefighters safe if there's an emergency. And he also is there to keep the citizens safe if they're in a business. And he's also there to keep the people that own the business from losing their investment. And he's also there to keep the people from getting sued, namely me, the mayor, the city administrator, and you. So at Publix, for example, he climbs up on top of a freezer, a walk-in, and looks over the back side of it, and there's some exposed insulation that is a fire code violation. And the man tells him, the contractor, and the general contractor says, we've built these all over the United States, and nobody's ever caught that. And he said, well, it's in the code, and he showed him the code, and he said, oh no, you're right, we'll fix it. But nobody's ever caught that. That's what we're losing. Hopefully, he's worked with Nick, and Nick has shadowed him for about 3 months, and hopefully Nick can step right in and do that job at that level. But it's going to be tough. Richard brings a lot of experience and knowledge and heart. So I've got another presentation for you. The fire department has started a tradition of these flags that we have made. Officer Willie Young with the police department make these for me, and we present this to you. It's got your name on it and some of the labels of the fire department, and it's an American flag, and it was custom made just for you, and we appreciate your service. Enjoy that. And finally, I do remember the day you started, the day C.B. Watkins hired you, and we all were looking at each other going, what in the world? Because he came off the street. He was not long out of the military, so he was taking full advantage of not having to shave or cut his hair. Best I remember, he had a ponytail, and it was like, oh my goodness. And C.B. said, leave him alone, he's got a job to do. And you were at City Hall, had an office at City Hall. When I got promoted, I came in and I said, you know, he really needs to be more entwined with the fire department because he's the fire inspector, he's the fire marshal. So I asked him if he would want to move his office down here. And he said yes. And we were so blessed for that because by him coming down here, he found out even more of what our needs were as far as pre-plans. And he got to know all the firefighters and got to orientate all the new firefighters. And it's just been a huge asset for him being down here in the fire department. A lot of fire departments don't have that. And I'm so glad that we do. And we're going to continue that with Deputy Fire Marshal Kimbrough. We're going to keep him within the department. And we are, I don't know what we're going to do.
We're going to move my office up there, remember?
Well, I do remember the day I hired Melissa, our assistant. I said, now Richard, as long as she doesn't complain, you can stay in the office with her. But if she complains, we're going to put your office on top of the captain's room. And I think she loves you to death. She's got to know you really well, and y'all have been a great team in that front office. She's our community risk organizer and manager, and she works with the fire alarm systems and fire smoke alarms that we give away, and you and her have been a great team, and I'm sure that will continue with Nick as well. So we just thank you so much, and I'm going to give you a few minutes with the microphone.
You are.
Ready?
Time
Well, people will start leaving.
I really don't have much to say. I'm an introverted kind of special soul. I want to say this, though, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Thank the citizens of Tullahoma. You guys have been awesome. You've been a blessing and to my life and my family's life. You've been a wonderful group of people to serve, and I couldn't have asked for a better direction from our good Lord than to bring me here. Strangely enough, I was born October 14, 1956. This fire department was made a paid department in October 1956. When I celebrated my 50th birthday, this fire department, on the same day, it was a Saturday, celebrated its 50th anniversary of being a paid department. I think the good Lord wanted me here. So I do appreciate everything. I've had great experiences. I've had blessings beyond what I could possibly say, and that's usually strange for me to not be able to say things. And I want to thank these folks here for putting up with me. And they have. I know sometimes you can wear your welcome, and these folks accept to be continuously, and I can't thank them enough. I can't thank you enough. And all I want to do in closing this is say, thank you, Lord Jesus, for all you provide. Amen.
And after these messages, we'll be right back.
It's not Invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Tullahoma's own Greg English has been named the top assistant principal in the state, school officials announced. English was named the Assistant Principal of the Year by the Tennessee Association of Secondary School Principals. He will go on to represent the state of Tennessee in the national level competition. For more than a decade, Greg English has faithfully served the students, teachers, and families at Tullahoma High School, and his commitment to education has impacted the many lives he has touched. We now go to last night's Tullahoma Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting, where Greg was honored by the board and his principal.
We do have a commendation, a great commendation to the best assistant high school principal in the state of Tennessee. And with that, I'd like to recognize Jason Quick, who has a letter or some comments that he'd like to make about his high school assistant principal.
Mayor Noah, thank you, and thank you to the Board of Aldermen for taking the time to recognize Dr. English. I have something that I was asked to read, which I will just read the nomination that I had written for Dr. English for this award. Unbeknownst to him, when I saw the advertisement for this, there was nobody else that I could think of more suitable and more worthy to have this honor. Dr. English has served as the backbone of the administrative team at Tullahoma High School for over 5 years prior to my arrival in 2020. Last year, he served as the school leader as the current principal was befallen with injury and illness. During my short time on board as the new principal, Dr. English has impressed me like few others in terms of knowledge, experience, and the ability to get things done. Teachers view him as a valued and trusted resource for every need. Currently, he serves as the Director of Distance Learning at Tullahoma High School, along with all of his other duties. His leadership is the key to why our virtual students have performed so well during these challenging times. If you were to ask me about his strengths, communication, attention to detail, and the ability to lead would be at the top of the long list, along with his professional yet approachable demeanor. Simply stated, Dr. English is a critical cog in all things successful at THS. Without him, we would not reach the levels of success we enjoy. Dr. English is definitely worthy of strong consideration for this award. Please take the time to get to know him, and soon you will see why he is so uniquely qualified. I submitted that last quarter, and it did not take very long for the TNA SSP to realize what a unique treasure and resource we have in Dr. English. I think it goes beyond saying or without saying that he has done so much for this school since coming on board, not only in an administrative capacity, but also in his role as band director, overseeing the fine arts programs for various schools within our system. And quite honestly, I cannot think of anyone who would be more deserving of this award. So, Mayor Noah, I have something I'm going to present to Dr. English, and it's going to take me about a 15-second sprint to his office so I can hand it to him, and then I'll hand it over to you.
Just a quick walk into your office.
So, Mayor Noah, I'm going to hand this to him. I believe you have this, or should I read this for you, Mayor Noah?
Let me read that for you. You've done enough reading for tonight. This is from the city of Tullahoma. This certificate of recognition is presented to Dr. Greg English, THS Assistant Principal, in honor of being named the Assistant Principal of the Year by the Tennessee Association of Secondary Schools Principals. We are proud that Dr. English will go on to represent Tullahoma, Tennessee in the national level competition. This award is a testament to the dedicated service Dr. English has provided over the years to the students, teachers, faculty at Tullahoma High School. We congratulate you for this honor and thank you for your commitment to our community. So now on behalf of the 18,655 citizens that call Tullahoma home, and by the authority vested in me as the mayor of Tullahoma, I now therefore proclaim Monday, January the 25th, 2021 as Greg English Day in Tullahoma, and urge all and beseech all citizens to recognize the same. Signed, Ray Norris, Mayor. Congratulations.
In other news, baseball legend Hank Aaron has passed away at the age of 86, the Atlanta Braves confirmed on Friday. No further details about his cause of death were shared. Aaron began his career in baseball in 1951 with the Indianapolis Clowns of the Negro Leagues. Just 7 months after starting with them, he signed with the Boston Braves. He stayed with the team for 21 years as they moved to Milwaukee and then Atlanta. He debuted in a Major League game in 1954 in Milwaukee after left fielder Bobby Thompson broke his ankle. In 1974, Aaron hit home run number 715 in a game against the Dodgers, beating Babe Ruth's record. By the end of his baseball career, he would hit 755 home runs. He came back to Milwaukee in 1975 to finish his career with the Brewers. Aaron became the first player in MLB to record 500 home runs and 3,000 hits. Earlier this month, Aaron joined several civil rights leaders who received the COVID-19 vaccine at the Morehouse School of Medicine. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred said in a statement, quote, "Hank Aaron is near the top of everyone's list of all-time great players. His monumental achievements as a player were surpassed only by his dignity and integrity as a person. Hank symbolized the very best of our game, and his all-around excellence provided Americans and fans across the world with an example to which to aspire. His career demonstrates that a person who goes to work with humility every day can hammer his way into history and find a way to shine like no other." End quote. Aaron was also a noted civil rights activist and received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2002 by President George W. Bush. Aaron said in 2014, quote, "We have moved in the right direction and there have been improvements, but we still have a long ways to go in this country. The bigger difference is that back then they had hoods. Now they have neckties and starched shirts." End quote. And on a side note, news leaders Jim Fuller was friends with Aaron when he lived for several years in Atlanta, and has lots of great stories with him if you can get him to tell you some. We'll be right back with more News Leader after these messages.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Here at Stan McNabb Collision Center, we work with all major insurance companies, and we get the job done right the first time, on time.
Well, I grew up in Tullahoma. We'd always done business with Stan McNabb, so when we needed collision service after a run-in with a deer, we knew to call those guys. We already had trust with them. We called Cody. He took great care of us. He kept us posted every step of the way, and we couldn't have been more pleased.
Getting your vehicle back to pre-loss condition shouldn't be a headache. So in event of an accident, contact me, Cody Hall, at Stan McNabb Collision Center.
Welcome back. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee released a video proclaiming how Tennessee has led the nation in academic gains for students over the past decade, and most recently in the K-12 crisis response to COVID-19. Tennessee is now uniquely positioned to tackle the literacy crisis and can do so from all sides. To help support literacy development in Tennessee, the state will leverage approximately $60 million of one-time federal COVID-19 relief funding and $40 million in federal grant funding to immediately launch Reading 360 and invest in optional reading resources and supports at no cost to the state or districts. The Reading 360 program will provide optional grants and resources to help more Tennessee students develop strong phonics-based reading skills by supporting districts, teachers, and families. Throughout Tennessee and across the country, national experts, directors of schools, elected officials, and various stakeholders are encouraged by this bold approach to support literacy in Tennessee. Here's the video released yesterday.
This is an exciting day. We collectively, with the governor's leadership and his team, and those of us in the General Assembly, we put our flag in the ground to say that we care deeply about our kids.
To mark the close of an extraordinary session to address an incredibly important issue, learning loss and the future of our kids.
This will reverberate throughout history and through generations. I am confident of that. This isn't just an investment today, it's an investment next year, the year after that, and 10 years down the road.
1 million children. We're thinking about 147 districts, 85,000 plus teachers. This is work that is investing in our kids, our districts, and our schools.
These teachers are invested in their children. They want to see them succeed. They don't just go to work, they invest their lives in these kids. So we want to create resources for them.
It is bold. It is bold legislation. It is a bold direction forward, and it is going to be very hard work. This is the moment where I think we saw our state invest in our kids in a very critical way and at a very critical time. And I've never been more proud to serve in an administration or to work with a group of people who care this much. It is a very, very good day for education.
And don't forget to tune in to this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Ashley Abraham from the local United Way organization, Lyle Russell from Tullahoma Parks and Rec Department, and Josh Cole with the Tullahoma Fine Arts Center. All that and more on this week's Living. And stay with us, we'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
Now open in Tullahoma, Parkview Senior Living, a luxurious retirement community designed for active seniors. Choose an apartment home that's truly inspired and have peace of mind knowing our caring and friendly staff is dedicated to your safety and well-being. We offer an abundance of amenities and services, and you're not required to buy in or be locked into anything. Call us today to learn more about our new Tullahoma location.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this date. Our record high was in 1950 at 72 degrees. A record low was in 1940 at negative 13 degrees. The average high for this day is 48 and the average low is 28. Mostly cloudy for tonight with a low of 40. Showers expected on Wednesday with a high of 53 and a low of 26, and sunny skies for Thursday with a high of 41 and a low of 23. And that's our News Leader Report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evenings at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. for News Leader on 6. Stay safe and have a great evening.